That was William Vitalis with Open My Heart to the World. Welcome to Let's Find Out. The focus of this program is to have our hearts open to the universal, united, kind, loving, and forgiving planet. We have entered into a new decade and new energy form, the transformational 20s. Let's all begin to strengthen the new energies on the planet, strengthen your intuition, and strive to live a peaceful existence free from fear. What strategies, prayers, meditations, and exercises can one use to tap into the higher realms and receive messages from our departed loved ones, creating a higher vibration of living? When we're upset and confused, where can we find the answers? How can we know which path to take? The answers are here on Let's Find Out with our spiritually focused format and guests. And now it's time for tonight's program, Let's Find Out with Elizabeth Joyce.
Good evening, it's Elizabeth Joyce. How is everyone this week? I hope a little bit better. We seem to be very slowly going uphill and trying to deal with this virus and get free of it as soon as possible. I have a wonderful guest tonight, Frank St. James, and he's here with me, and we are here to answer your questions if you want to call in and ask a question. The number is 202-570-7057. If you want to ask Frank about what's coming this summer, if you want to make any comment about the virus, or if you have any questions about what's happening with you and your family, again, the number is 202-570-7057. Frank is also a wonderful communicator with the other side. So, hi, Frank, how are you?
I'm feeling great. I'm getting very enthusiastic. I know through all of this that we've been going through. But I could see just from people I talk to. I haven't talked to some people in 50 years, and they've been calling, and I've been calling a lot of people that I know, and including people that I've over the years given readings to make sure they're all right. And it seems to be uplifting right now, just to find out certain people are getting through it. I know it's a rough time, but I always believe a negative goes into a positive. And,
I think there's going to be some good things coming from it, too. But I'll tell you, you're very lucky, Frank, because you live on the water. You live in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And one of the best things about this virus is to be out in the sun. The sun gives you vitamin D. We need to be outside. The kids need to be outside. So I guess that we all have to cope with the best we can do. I know I sit out on my back porch all the time. I have a new puppy and I'm training her. She loves to be outside. So I sit and tell her, and I watch her run. She's so young. Boy, I remember when I used to run like that. And she has a great time doing all her tricks, and I'm out in the sun. So you can certainly find a time to be out in the sun. And Frank, don't you think it's time to start our gardens? We're going to have a garden.
Well, my garden is people, and it really is. I've always been a people person. I like my downtime, but my wife will tell you that I talk to anybody that would listen.
That's true. I'll tell you that. I've known you 30 years, and I can tell you that. Frank will talk to anybody that'll listen. And if you want to talk to Frank St. James and ask a question tonight, the number is 202-570-7057. And we do have a caller for you, Frank. Her name is Denise, and her birthday is February 28th. Hello, Denise.
Oh, hello, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you calling from?
I am calling from Delaware.
Good. And so what's the question that you have for us on Let's Find Out tonight?
Oh, okay. I have a question for Frank or you, whomever, about my sons. I have two, and one is working in Manhattan and the other in Boston. So I was just wondering if anything's coming up around them in the city.
And we need their first name and birthday one at a time, Denise, one at a time.
Okay, the first one is Michael, and his birthday is March 2nd, 1991.
And is he in New York?
And he's in New York, yes.
Okay. Frank?
I like his, incidentally, we're all Pisces, it looks like, tonight.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yay.
And incidentally, you're in your 8th year of a 9-year cycle, and it's a very good year for you to get things done as far as financial things, and it's an earth energy, and you can definitely be help out with your children too.
And you're going to have a very strong year, Denise. This is the year when you get settled and make decisions, and the universe flows your way.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Frank.
that's great. And I work with children.
Yeah. And your son that you mentioned, he's in the 7th year. This is an excellent time for him to get. I don't know what career he's in or what, but if he is,
In
okay.
banking?
All right. Well, you know what? There are changes in. I was going over some of the astrology coming up, that some planets, and they're favoring people that are in the financial business right now. And he's in the 7th year, which is a higher order of information coming in. And he'll be going into his best year, and actually next year, but the influence comes in a few months earlier. So he's going to get the information that he needs to move up where he wants to go. So it's a perfect year for him.
Banking laws are changing, and I feel your son is going to become stronger because he understands the laws more than other people.
Oh, yes, that's great.
And what's the name of your other son, Denise? And where is he's in Boston? When's his birthday?
Yes, he's in Boston, and his birthday is November 30th, 1992.
And his name?
Brian.
Brian, the Sagittarian.
Yes.
What you got, Frank?
Well, interesting enough, he's also in the 7th year. And that's going to be significant. And I used to live up in Boston. And, of course, I'm from New York. So that's interesting tonight. And so they're both in very good years to move ahead. What does he do?
He's working on his PhD right now.
He's up at Harvard?
No, he's at Boston University.
That's an excellent school as well.
Yeah.
And the PhD is in what subject, Denise?
It's biophysics.
Oh, my goodness. He's going to be doing things from outer space. That's what I felt. Sagittarians always like to go beyond the norm, and I think he's going to be working on projects with Mars and the moon, and that's what I see, lots of telescopes and knowledge about space.
Oh,
great. I'm seeing that within 2 years, he's actually making a name for himself. He's very smart, and he's like a detective. He's like he wants to explore, but he's very good with the picking up information and actually using it.
I have a column that I write called Stargazing, and he is definitely a stargazer. So well, I do feel very good about that.
That makes sense because he used to be in astrophysics. That's what he was working on, and he just switched over, so he knows that side, and he switched over to biophysics, but he's not particularly sure which way to go.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling Let's Find Out, Denise, and be safe and stay well.
Yes, you too both. Thank you very much.
Frank, we have Sharon on the phone, and she's November 12th. Hello, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Frank.
Where are you calling from, Sharon?
I'm calling from South Florida.
Oh, how nice. Whereabouts in South Florida?
West Palm Beach.
That's my favorite place.
Open up the beaches.
Are they? My best friend lives in Boca.
Oh, well, that's great. I'm only like 8 miles from there.
I know, not too far. So what is your question for Frank tonight?
Well, first I want to tell you I ordered your new book. I'm really looking forward to reading it because I have the next 2 months off.
Good. So you ordered Backstage.
I ordered Backstage. I read Unlimited Realities, which was, I had tears in my eyes. It was the most beautiful book.
Thank you.
Because I travel a lot as a flight attendant, and I have time to read while we're waiting for the next trip.
Good.
And it was a fabulous book. And
Frank told me today that his favorite chapter is the Karma chapter, right, Frank?
Yes, and I've been studying this since I went professional for 50 years, and it's good to come out with the simple explanations of what you could do for yourself and improving yourself and your karma. It's you're going to really enjoy it. This is a really good book for you.
And Sharon, the book had to come out. The reason that I wrote it is to let people know what their power is and how to use it. Because when we have books like The Secret that don't even mention the divine, I just think that that's not as helpful as something like this is with these proven ancient exercises. I really had fun writing it.
I'm really excited to get it. It should be at my doors hopefully in the next couple of days.
Yeah, Amazon's pretty quick.
It's no secret that the airlines have a massive reduction. Mine's down 95%.
And
so
who do you fly for?
5 years. Delta.
Oh, I'm flying Delta next week. Yay.
Oh, thank you very much.
I want to tell you something about Delta Airlines. They are the kindest airlines. I have to fly to New Hampshire because I'm leaving Austin with my puppy. And the ones that were kind and gentle with me was Delta. That girl that booked my ticket even stayed on the phone with me while I went on Chewy.com to order my little baby the correct carry-on with the right measurements. So hats off to Delta.
I'd love to hear that.
Hats off to Delta.
Where they say it comes from the top, our CEO is a very loving and kind, strong person. And I know him a little bit from meeting him. And it reflects in the entire company. He lifts his people up, and he's trying so hard. And I send him messages. I'm praying for him and the executive team.
I've been flying Delta ever since I was a child. You know, Delta used to be the only airlines that flew to Manchester. And my mother and father lived up there as well as my grandmother. So I had to go from LaGuardia to Manchester a lot, and I always flew Delta.
And I started my roots in LaGuardia. So after 35 years, it's been a long travel, and this is the first time I've ever taken a leave.
So what's your question for Frank?
The company will be coming out with retirement packages. I'm 58. I don't feel I'm ready, but will I be retiring this year?
To be 58 again.
They have to reduce the workforce.
I think it's wise if you do.
Tremendously.
I think it's wise if you do. Go ahead, Frank. What do you think?
I actually feel good with you. I think you can get a couple more years in if, know, because you like doing it and you got the experience. And that's the most important thing right now because it's going to give people a calming effect. To have somebody that has that type of experience. Well, you know how to handle people, too.
Sharon, if you didn't decide to retire and they laid you off, would they give you your retirement? That's the question you need to know.
Unless we bottom out and then we have to go to the government retirement. I don't see that happening because we were so financially strong going into this.
Well, that's great. So I think that I see you flying differently. I don't know. I just have a feeling that you may retire, and I have a feeling that you may do it before the first of the year. But if you do, you've got something else lined up that will be different but nice and better. Maybe some private corporation.
Yeah. Interesting enough, you're also in the 7th year of a 9-year cycle. So you're going to get the information you need You're heading towards your 8th year, which is going to be very solid as far as work goes and financial. So you're going to come out of this feeling very secure and getting what you want. Believe me.
And you'll know
I
the right thing to
feel good
do,
about it.
Sharon. Just wait until September. You'll know the right thing to do. And we're
Oh,
not
yes.
far. You can always call us offline.
Okay, thank you
So
so
thank you.
much.
And
And Frank, thank you again. It's always good to hear you.
thank you, Sharon. We have to take a break, Frank, and listen to our weekly message about stargazing, and we'll be right back. This is Elizabeth Joyce with Stargazing Week of April 27th through May 3rd, 2020. Mercury starts the energy moving this week on Monday, April 27th, as it moves into Taurus. This shift is sure to slow things down a bit as it focuses on communication and practical matters for most of the month. If you have something to say or negotiate a contract this week, the roughest day will be Tuesday because that's when Mercury squares Saturn in Aquarius, bringing in negative or silent communications, which can lead to misunderstandings. Also, the Sun aligns with Uranus, and that is the kind of energy that jolts you awake. Write down any brilliant ideas now because they will be gone before you know it. Bring your ideas down to earth and they will help you to produce in tangible ways. Actually, there's a lot of mental Mercury energy all week, so expect lots of talk and chatter. As usual, don't believe anything you hear. Mercury challenges Saturn, which can manifest either as a tired feeling or as a need to get grounded in your ideas and communications. If you have something important to discuss or communicate, it is best to wait until Thursday, April 30th. This week, Mercury aligns with innovative Uranus until the end of the month. This can bring in some shocking and scandalous news to the forefront. The energy continues to support new ideas, an energized spirit, and the willingness to step out of your comfort zone and try something new. This is your chance to get super creative and inspired and to say the right thing at the right time in the right way. Friday, May 1st brings us an important day in ancient tradition, May Day. It marks the halfway point between the spring equinox and the summer solstice. When I was little, I remember dancing around the maypole with fresh flowers on May Day. We had so much fun. Over the weekend, Venus is still in Gemini and is getting ready to slow down and turn retrograde mid-month. May brings the time to review your love and money, among other things. Esoterically, Venus is in Gemini and has a lot to do with healing, which seems timely due to this virus that's going around. Things may begin to level off and calm down as we begin to carefully return to normal life, whatever that is for us. Stay healthy and stay safe. This is Elizabeth Joyce with Visions of Reality. The website is new-visions.com. If you'd like to make a call to ask a question or book a reading, the 24-hour answering service is 201-934-8986. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week. And this is Elizabeth Joyce with Let's Find Out. I'm on with Frank St. James, and we're asking you to call in and ask questions about what's happening with you or the virus or spring and summer. The number to call is 202-570-7057. Again, that's 202-570-7057. We'd like you to give your first name, birth date, and location. So, Frank, we do have somebody else that wants your attention. Her name is Stephanie, and she's born on February 15th. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome to Let's Find Out.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Where are you calling in from?
Colorado.
Colorado. Neat.
Yeah.
How are you doing out there? How's everybody doing out in Colorado?
Well, that's what I'm calling about. I've been incredibly antsy, not sure what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Many of us have, of course.
Things just don't seem to be gelling right now.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if it's because of being stuck at home, but
no, you're an Aquarian, and Saturn just moved into Aquarius, so you're feeling that energy perhaps a little early. What do you think, Frank?
I think give yourself a few days. You know, the moon is very important. It changes signs every 2.5 days, and not all signs are going to be pick you up, but also this is actually going to be a good time for you, both spiritually too. So psychologically, I just kind of feel you give it within 2 weeks. I just feel enough feeling. They're going to be starting to loosen up a bit on restrictions. They are getting some control. But it'll take a while, but you're going to feel a lot better. I've been, like I was saying to Elizabeth, I've been hearing from people I haven't heard in 50 years. I mean, it's one of those times when you try to connect with people, and it's just talking to each other is uplifting.
Stephanie, haven't you felt antsy for a while? Because you should have been feeling antsy from around Christmas time.
Right.
According to the astrology. So I think that you're struggling with some things. I think decisions come to you in early June. You're thinking about relocating?
Well, I would like to, but that the real estate market really isn't very good right now. Especially
we're not talking about real estate. We're not talking about anything but what is inside of you, Stephanie. Don't try to use logic in such a thing. This is such a spiritual experience that we're all going through. We're being asked to look within. We're being asked for what we really, really want, what we can let go of, and then we're going to be able to manifest our desires. So don't look at logic. I do feel looking at relocation. I'm not sure that you want to stay in Colorado. Am I right?
Correct. Yeah, I would really like to be in Florida.
Well, that's possible. I'm not saying that that's the best place either, but what you need to do is to sit and visualize it and thank Spirit for the provisions for your move. Thank Spirit. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, for allowing me to go to Florida the way I have desired. And everything is going to come your way after we go through the next eclipse, and the next eclipse is in June. And I feel that, Frank, I think that whether she relocates or not, she's going to be happy, don't you?
And she is in the 6th year of a 9-year cycle.
That's a karma year.
That includes, it's an Earth year, and that includes real estate as a theme. So moves, relationships, you're going to start seeing some of this coming in. I like September for you. September, October.
That's what I
think that's a time you'll get the information that you need, and possibly a location. If you're still interested in Florida, which I've lived in too, and a couple areas, and that's what I'm feeling.
Whereabouts in Florida, October. Stephanie?
Well, I like Clearwater, and I also like Naples.
Naples is good, but Naples is too low. Naples can be dangerous weather-wise. I'm looking at the weather and the changes that are coming, and I'm advising that everybody be upward in Florida, above Miami and Naples, and so you might want it Clearwater. Well, that's fine too. I know it's beautiful there. That's not the area of Florida that I like, because that is the area that all the hurricanes come in on. So meditate on what's right for you, and I know that you'll get the answer within. You really have a very strong light, and that's beautiful to see.
Okay. Could I just ask another real quick question?
Real quick, and then we have to go to break.
We found out that this rescue dog that we've gotten has neurological problems. And so they're suggesting maybe in the next couple of weeks of having to put him down. Could you tell me what you think about that?
I think that you need to agree with them. I think there's something very painful and serious growing inside. I feel very sad about it, but there'll be another one waiting for you. Okay, I'm just blessing it. He had that way before you got him, of course, and it's unfortunate. I just got a new puppy that had been abused, and I really had to really work hard with her for 2 months before she came out of it. But this one is sick, so I'll send a little energy to him.
Okay, I'd appreciate it.
And they're great little spirits. I've had a few animals, and of course it broke my heart when they passed away, but they'll always be with you.
Yeah.
They'll always be with you. Sometimes you might pick them up to a dream or something, and just have that feeling around you. But
thank you for
treat
calling.
an
Let's
animal
find
good.
out, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And we have to go to break.
Right.
And we will be back. We have Susan on the line. Susan, please bear with me. We'll be back right after this, and then we'll speak with Susan.
Your conscious connection to a more mindful world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
A social distancing tip.
Putting distance between yourself and others is critical to slowing the spread of coronavirus. So here are ways to stay in contact without the physical contact part. Call, send a text, set up a video conference, post on social media, dedicate a song on the radio. If you have symptoms of fever, dry cough, and shortness of breath, call your healthcare provider before going to their office. For more info, visit coronavirus.gov.
Let's all do our part, because we're all #alone together. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Elizabeth Joyce's Elixir Tea is really a healing tea. It's blended according to Ayurvedic principles and the chanting of Sanskrit mantras. So it assures a deep cellular healing, relief that flows from within. So drink Elizabeth's healing tea before you meditate. Order it online or call 201-934-8986, 201-934-8986.
The student asks the teacher, "How do I experience transformation?" The teacher replies, "When the student is ready to receive deeper answers, the student then asks, 'How do I know what deeper questions to ask?' And the teacher replies, "When the student decides to commit to a practice inviting transformation, level 2 questions will be revealed." Hi, I'm Tomas Garza, and as a teacher and host, I'm inviting listeners to enroll in the mastery of transformation by joining me on Decide to Transform, your bridge to level 2 answers. Tuesdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio.
Now more than ever, you need Elizabeth Joyce's Sanitizing Healing Spray. It clears and cleans viruses and germs, and it helps to prevent spreading those viruses and germs. Elizabeth's Sanitizing Healing Spray contains frankincense and sandalwood. You spray it as generously and as often as you need. You can order it online or call 201-934-8986. 201-934-8986.
Begin
This is Elizabeth Joyce with Let's Find Out. And that was Elizabeth Hepburn with our West Point Choir up in New York State singing Let There Be Peace on Earth, which is the message that I'm sending out to everyone. Tonight I'm on with Frank St. James, our wonderful psychic detective, who is here to answer your questions about the other side or anything you'd like to ask about this upcoming spring and summer. And the number to call is 202-570-7057. And Susan, are you still there? Susan?
Yes, I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now. And your birthday is August 10th. Where are you calling in from?
Manhattan, Kansas.
Oh, Manhattan, Kansas. I've been there. Frank, do you have a question for Frank, Susan?
Yes, I was wondering what the other side thinks about how I'm doing on executing a soul plan, and maybe what I should be concentrating on next.
Who specifically are you feel that you're bringing through? Is that a father or a mother? Are they both here or both passed? Let me ask you that.
Father has passed. Mom is still here.
Okay. Because I'm getting, and I feel the grandmother too, that's contributing to this feeling for you. And they really are, your father especially seems to be concerned that he's trying to be enthusiastic with you, and he's been sending you energy. Have you been going through any physical thing that possibly?
I have spinal stenosis, so periodically it flares up, and then I can. So it's just one of those things.
Well, you're getting as much healing from the other side as I'd like to say that a lot of people should be getting from their relative, but you got a lot of love coming through the other side, and I just feel like your dad wants you to keep your moving forward and do the best you can. He says you're not ready. You're not going to be over here for a while, so we're going to try and help you, and that's what I'm feeling for you.
And you're always on the right spiritual path, Susan. I'd like you to think about ordering my book Backstage, and you might understand that I really break down the soul, where it comes from, and the whole kit and caboodle about from birth to death and then back again to birth. You might get some information that would be helpful to you in the book Backstage that I just wrote, and it just came out this month.
Okay, thanks.
Is there any other thing that you'd like to ask, Susan?
No, I was just wondering about, what to kind of concentrate on and work on next. I do watercolor painting, and I like going to the university events, so
good.
I have plenty of things to do, but, what else should those other things that you could be on,
Working on your inner self is always the best, I think. Don't you, Frank?
Yes, and your the color, you should ask yourself before you pray, or what color do I need? And the color will come out, and it's a whole process called dealing with your chakras, and there are certain areas that a color will energize that area, and that's what I'm feeling for you. You're and you seem to be intuitive enough that you're working with colors, and I think they've been helping you.
They always give you strength. So thank you for calling, Susan. Thank you for calling. Let's find out. So Frank, let's talk about how this virus is going to leave. I do think it's going to start ebbing away, and it will be pretty clear by mid-June, because I'm attaching all this energy to the astrology. I don't think astrology ever lies. And we have the eclipse on Christmas Eve, and we have the next eclipse in June, and I think by then it's going to be a has-been. I know that everybody's working very hard on it, but I'd like to see it kind of taper off. What do you think?
Well, interesting enough, Saturn is in Aquarius, and that's a lot of research. That's it just went into it. So there's going to be a lot of research, and out of this, I feel something else is going to get cured because of this too.
It'll help with other serious illnesses. We have one more caller, Frank, and we have just enough time. Her name is Cheryl. She's born May 19th, so happy birthday, Cheryl. That's coming up for you. And Frank, what do you have for Cheryl? Are you there, Cheryl?
Yes, I am. It's February 19th.
February 19th, okay. And Cheryl, happy birthday anyway. Where are you calling in from?
I'm from Baltimore.
Baltimore. My sister was there a while. What would you like to ask Frank?
Well, I'm going to be looking for a new job, and I was just wondering what area I should look in. I had been a fundraiser, but I'm looking for something new.
Mm-hmm.
You're still in the social type of situations. You like just to be in that work with groups.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, also, you're in the 50th year, which is called the year of change. So my feeling is you should get a little more information coming in. You'll be going into your 6th year, which is really kind of a magical time for changes and negotiations. I like you in a kind of a group where you're going to be able to bring across some of your ideas that you've had. And you've got great ideas on the social part of you, and I think you're going to be very helpful.
Have you ever worked with any medical institutions, Cheryl? Medical?
Yes, I have.
Because I'm feeling that you could learn coding and billing and make a lot of money helping doctors or institutions, even Johns Hopkins.
Oh, okay, sure.
So maybe you want to brush up on that, because I think something's coming, and I think that by June or July you're going to be working, and I think you're going to be at Johns Hopkins. That's what I'm feeling.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
It is. So thank you for calling Let's Find Out, Cheryl, and please keep in touch.
Oh, I will. Thank you.
With all of this, it's kind of getting away from just feeling like nothing's going to happen, and it's changing lives. It says, well, okay, now do I really like what I'm doing? It's something that you're seeing certain people that haven't been able to accomplish things turning around and going for something that they want to. I mean, what the heck?
And that's wonderful. I think that a lot of us have been caged up, and that we've kind of been robots, going to work, coming home, sleeping, getting up, going to work. And now all of a sudden we've been shaken awake. And that's what this energy has done in a positive way. It's shaking everybody awake. It's making us look at ourselves and say, hey, if my time is short, or if the world is short, what do I want to do that will make me feel fulfilled? So sit and meditate and ask yourself, what can I do? And you know what? This is a great time to manifest. Don't you think, Frank? Didn't you say we're in a 4-year? Is that a manifestation year? 2020?
2020 is, 4th year. Mm-hmm. It's an earth year. It's practical. It's putting things that are practical and not going crazy.
It's also letting go of things and selling things that you haven't used in 2 years.
Right. The other thing is there's going to be a real big trend on changing your eating habits.
Right.
And I kind of feel that's going to be an upside because as you see, the people that are not going through things, haven't been taking care of themselves well, seem to be the most vulnerable. And I think that's a big lesson here.
I went to get some produce the other day, and I'm in Austin, Texas, and the place where I was at was out of a lot of produce. And I know places like Whole Foods and other places have produce, but not the little markets. So we've got to be very careful, and you really should think about starting a garden, at least grow lettuce and Swiss chard and tomatoes, because that's very easy to grow. You don't have to think much about it. It just needs something called sun. So sun and water, and it'll be fine. And I think everybody's going to learn how to do more gardening. What do you think, Frank?
Well, I think that's a trend, but I also feel there's going to be a trend on what is good to eat, vitamins, different herbs. And these are the only things that are going to really help you to keep your mental capacity, mind,
we're
spirit.
We're going to let go of all the ones that Louise Hay has told us to let go of for years. Red meats, alcohol, sugar, and caffeine. So, you let go of that, and we might be forced to let go of some of it, and then you start drinking that clear, fresh water and your vegetables and whatever, and you're going to be fine. Things will work out. And I'm telling you, the sun and the vitamin D is what's going to handle and kill this virus.
It's taking control of yourself, finally. Right. And really done. And individually, that's how we survive.
Okay, Frank, that's very good. We're going to be going out now, and I'd like you to give your contact information, please.
My phone number is 862-684-1904. So it's 862-684-1904.
And this is Elizabeth Joyce. Thank you, Frank. Thank you for being with us. And I know that you'll be with us at the end of May. And people can also contact you offline. Thank you for being with us tonight. This is Elizabeth Joyce. It's time for our meditation now. Next week I have Pam, and Pam and I are going to talk about auras and colors and how to see an aura, and also how to heal. A lot of healing we'll be talking about. So she's pretty great. She's Pam Osley. She's from California, and her website is auracolors.com. So you might want to take a look at her. And we will be talking about ways to pick up your mood, to get you out of a depression, and to make you feel healthy and energetic again. And that's the whole goal of Let's Find Out. Let's find out how to do that. So we're ready for our meditation, and we're going to go out with Everywhere by William Vitalis, which is a wonderful, wonderful song. Thank you for listening, and good night. This is the Garden of Life Meditation with Elizabeth Joyce. The thoughts we think and the words we speak are constantly shaping our world and our experiences. Many of us are still in the old habit of negative thinking, and we do not realize the damage that we have inflicted upon ourselves. However, we are never stuck because we can always change our thinking. As we continue to choose positive thoughts and actions, the negative thoughts dissolve away. So, take a deep breath, sit with your spine straight, both feet flat on the floor, and legs uncrossed. Or you can lay down. Close your eyes and allow these messages to flow and penetrate within you. Your subconscious mind will pick up the ones that are the most important to you at this moment. These positive concepts are like fertilizing the soil of your mind. As your body, mind, spirit absorbs them by repetition, you are slowly strengthening and crossing the bridge, the very basis of your garden of life. As we go through these affirmations,
as you allow them to flow into your consciousness. Know that you are planting the seeds of positive thinking into your garden of life. I release the past with ease, and I trust the process of life. I close the door on old hurts, and I forgive everyone, myself included. I visualize a stream in front of me. I take all those experiences, those old hurts, old pain, and I put them into this stream and watch them dissolve and drift downstream until they totally dissipate and disappear. I am free, and everyone in my past is free. I am ready to move forward into the new adventures that await me. Lifetimes come and go, but I am always eternal. I am alive and vital, no matter which kind of vibrational plane I am existing on. Love surrounds me. Love surrounds me now, and love surrounds me in the future. Love surrounds me forever. My willingness to forgive begins my healing process. I allow the love from my own heart to wash through me, cleansing and healing every part of my body. I know I am healing. Forgiveness of myself and others releases me from the past. Forgiveness is the answer for almost every problem. Forgiveness is a gift to myself, because when I can forgive, I am setting myself free. I free myself and everyone in my life from the old past hurts. They are free now, and I am free now to move forward into new, glorious, fabulous experiences. I cross this bridge with joy and ease, and the old issues have transformed into wonderful new experiences. You know, my life gets better all the time. I am willing to release old negative beliefs. They are only thoughts, and the old thoughts stand in my way. My new thoughts are positive and fulfilling. I release the things in my past that cloud my vision. I now can see the perfection of all of life. I willingly forgive, and I bring love into my vision. I see with compassion and understanding. My clear insight is reflected in my outer sight. I breathe in the fullness and richness of life. Take a deep breath and see yourself breathe in the fullness and richness of life. Take a deep breath and bring in the aromatherapy of spring, all the flowers blooming and the glorious sights of the brilliant colors. As I take a deep breath, I observe my life with joy, abundantly supporting me. Life supports me with more good than I can imagine. I am guided through the day in making good choices. Divine intelligence and my blessed higher self continually guide me in the realization of my goals, and I am safe. I am safe. It's only change. I am safe. It's only change. I am safe. It's only change. As I break free and think wonderful thoughts, I move past my limitations into freedom. I now become all I am created to be. I am that. I am love. I am growing in full bloom in my garden of wisdom. This is my new vision of reality. And so it is.
finding my way under wide open sky. I feel new friends in the morning air. Sunrise is warming the mountainside, promising me that you'll be there. Oh, let me run up the mountainside. Something like a first light is bursting inside. Suddenly I know that you can't ever hide from me. You are everywhere, all around me. You are everywhere, all around me. You are everywhere, and everywhere do I see. Oh, who got my breath going right from the start? Who pours the universe into my heart? Who sings the grace into every part of me? Oh, tell me, how can my mind hold the wings of your time unless I spread my arms wide? How will I know your heart is mine unless I feel you so deep